that there are a bunch of books on the bookshelf behind me, but I really stopped buying that many physical books a while ago. Now, don't get me wrong, I used to buy a lot of books. I liked learning and understanding new concepts, but sometimes I would buy 3 books in a week. I would maybe read 10 pages of each book, and I would promise myself that I would read more eventually, but that just never happened. I do think one big reason for this was that I generally buy nonfiction, self-improvement type of books, so they aren't really exactly page turners. These days, I'd much rather get my information either through listening to it via audiobook or podcast, and if I really want a book, I might just ask my friends if they have a copy of that said book first. The bookshelf behind me is just the full representation of every single book that I own. I'm serious, I don't own any more books than that. And if I were to buy more books, I just don't think I would have the space for them because they also cause a lot of clutter as well. All right, so that was my point about books, but this next thing that I stopped buying doesn't have to do anything with clutter, but it has to do everything with overpaying, and that's actually changing my car insurance. I personally moved into the city of San Francisco a couple of years ago, and since then, the number of miles that I drive on a yearly basis has gone from 12,000 to 15,000 miles per year, down to about 3,000 or 4,000. I'm just not driving as much anymore, and as such, I've called my insurance to see if I can get a better rate on the monthly premiums that I pay. And because I did this, I'm saving about $40 a month compared to before. According to a 2019 study, Americans are overpaying for insurance by nearly $37 billion a year. And that study was conducted 6 years ago. So I just have to imagine that these days that figure has probably ballooned. And according to the article, Americans were overpaying for auto insurance by an average of $330 per year back then. And most people are loyal to their insurance provider for no rational reason. They usually just choose an insurance provider on a whim, or perhaps they are grandfathered into whatever their parents used at one point. But I think honestly, if you just spend 1 hour comparing rates, it could easily save you hundreds of dollars, if not maybe even $1,000 on a yearly basis. I will personally link an insurance comparison tool from my website down below in the description, and you can easily check to see if you're already getting the best deal on insurance. You basically just enter in your zip code, answer a quiz, and then you can easily check and compare offers. I think it's really helpful to at least compare the rates, especially if your driving situation has changed, like in my case where I'm just driving fewer miles per year. The main point here is just make sure you're not overpaying for insurance or paying for more than you actually need in terms of coverage. The fourth thing on today's list is really simple. It's clothing just for one specific occasion. I don't know how many of you guys are watching are women, but I find that a lot of my female friends run into this problem, and I was even victim to this same phenomenon. Sometimes I would have a special event coming up and I wanted to look my best, so I would buy an outfit just for that occasion, and oftentimes I wouldn't wear that outfit ever again. For example, I got invited to a rodeo once, and I thought it might be a great idea to buy a cowboy hat.